If you haven't got problems, I feel bad for your son. I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one.
Hey, Ian, it's Damian over here at 99 Problems and a Stitcher Ain't One. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, Damian. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. I've been playing with villains for a little while, and by a little while, I mean a very little while.
Right.
I'm just super biased toward heroes usually, but it occurs to me that early on, I might be spending my energies going in a bunch of different directions. So I was going to ask
Hmm.
you, hey, Ian, what if I wanted to do a good villain team in the beginning? Could you take a look at mine and suggest some better ideas?
Yeah, absolutely. What sort of villain teams are you currently running, or what sort of villains do you have accessible?
Well, for episode 9, called Title of Comic Series, uh, I have not come up with a good name for that title. That's okay. We'll edit it in post. But so I have in front of me a bunch of Hydra minions.
Right.
So what I did was I loaded up a team of Hydra Rifle Trooper, Hydra Grenadier, Hydra Scientist, Hydra Armored Guard, and then I've been trying to figure out whether to do Crossbones or Winter Soldier.
Neither do
Oh,
Zemo or Red Skull.
don't have either of those, Ian. I'm
Ah,
telling you what I've got.
right.
Uh,
Um,
so,
Working with them,
mhm.
probably Winter Soldier.
Okay. Now,
Because
where should I put him in the squad? Like, how should I stack this squad?
well, you're always looking to get your protectors at the edge
Mhm.
of the screen, so either position 1 or 5.
Right.
And your squishier ones away from it.
Hmm.
But again,
Hmm.
it does depend on the power level of them.
Hmm.
If you see you have a 1,000 power sniper and a
Hmm.
2,000 powered Winter Soldier, then put the
Hmm.
sniper on the further extremity. No, sorry, put Winter Soldier on the further extremity because he can take more damage there because
Oh,
he's a higher
okay.
power.
All right.
Not a higher power as in what they thought, but a higher
Yeah.
power level.
Well, he's a hired power because in the comic books he was more of a merc.
He is
Uh,
indeed, yeah.
Yeah, but in this game they've got him as military, bio, blaster, hydra, and infiltrator, which is fair. Okay, so I'm gonna put Winter Soldier with my Hydra minion guys. So I'm thinking I would put my Hydra armored guard off to the side, like,
Hmm.
and stacking left to right, let's say. So Hydra armored guard. I'm gonna put my Hydra, or I'm gonna put Winter Soldier next to him because Winter Soldier is powerful for me anyway. My range is anywhere from 11 to 16,000. And so Hydra armored guard, Winter Soldier, then the rifle trooper, then my grenadier, then my scientist on the far end.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Um,
Okay,
there probably is a better way to do it, but I mean, that does sound sort of the sensible, or at least a passable, at the very least,
sure.
setup for that team.
Okay. Yeah, because my scientist, I was looking at his healing abilities, and it seems like his experimental serum, it goes to 1 to 2 randos. It's not
Hmm.
whoever you're adjacent to,
Yeah.
and the test patient 0 is the most injured, and so again, didn't require adjacency, and so I figured if I kept him away from my armored fellow, then
Hmm.
I might have something there. So, okay. Well, so I have another idea for a squad, and that
Hmm.
is if I used Winter Soldier, Mystique, Elektra, um, Ghost, and then honestly, I don't know who to fill in with that final slot. I would want somebody else who is either a super tank, in which case I could use Rhino, or I'd want to find another infiltrator of a sort.
Well, the infiltrator tag isn't
Mhm.
really a tag, if you like.
Oh,
The infiltrator tag, unless I'm mistaken, that might just be for the event that's currently running,
I think you might be right. Okay. Because
the
all these people
White Tiger
I
event.
found they had some modicum of stealth ability, or well, Winter Soldier doesn't, but they had a modicum of stealth ability, and they could hit criticals pretty well. So,
But yeah, the
okay.
infiltrator tag is just an event specific one. It doesn't do anything in terms of synergy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but when you're looking, well, there's that word again. It's synergy. You mentioned, I mean, maybe a hand character to go in with them because you've got
Okay.
Elektra,
Yeah, I do.
hand sentry. He
Yeah,
is
I have that one.
he is the least worst of all the hand because he stealths everyone on his first turn.
Oh, very nice.
He's another one. He's not the best to have, but he's a priority kill if you're going against him.
Okay.
So just maybe someone that brings up the synergies again. Look at your when you're sort of putting in the teams. When you've got the team screen up, and just have a look at the little sort of green numbers that are on their torso
Sure.
or their lower parts in some cases. See which ones sort of give you the highest numbers, which is basically the highest synergy with them. I don't know if you've got Yellow Jacket, who would work.
I do not.
He would work tremendously well with Ghost. Who else did you mention? You had Ghost
Winter Soldier, Elektra,
Soldier.
and Mystique.
and Mystique. If you've got any other Brotherhood or Marauders, then they would work very well with Mystique.
Okay.
Your likes of Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, Juggernaut, Magneto. Again, just sort of experiment on the loading screen.
Sure.
How many numbers you can get. And if you want to get geeky about it, press on the numbers and have a look and see exactly what they do for each other.
Okay.
That will help you out a lot.
All right. So how about this as oh dear, the screen disappeared from under me. How about this as a squad? Namor, Loki, Hela, Crossbones, much as you love him, and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, there's a decent bit of synergy there. I think Crossbones and Winter Soldier will be global and cosmic for Hela and Loki. And sorry, who was the other one?
Namor.
Namor. He's a bit lost, really. Works well with the Fantastic Four. But outside of that, what is his tag? He's a global as well. Mutant Brawler. You could probably get a better option than Namor. But again, if Namor is roundabout the same sort of power as the aforementioned four, then that would work well. His his ultimate move, or his big move, as my son likes to call it, that is just fantastic. That will, if not, that will wipe out a lot of the smaller enemies on turn one.
Yes.
If not, it'll do a whole host of damage to them that the likes of Loki and certainly Hela can take advantage of.
You know, I'm looking at these squads and I'm noticing that despite the fact that my Hydra goons are woefully underpowered compared to the rest, their synergies are so much higher than most of the squads that I've got. In some ways, it's the Marvel problem, where Marvel has singular villains that your teams of heroes end up fighting. And we see this in the movies all the time. But in the comics, it's especially true. Whereas in DC, it's much more the other way around. It's a whole bunch of villains ganging up on the god that is the hero. And I'm wondering if that's just, not a aspect of the fiction that they are building this off of.
I've never thought about it like that, but that is a very good point about the difference between Marvel and DC.
Oh yeah, Marvel is demigods and DC is gods. Like it's right clear. So okay, so I'm thinking that Hydra squad, maybe I should beef it up a little bit, just pull them all up a little here and there, and hope for a Nazi. Apparently,
they're not going to be overly effective until you get one of the two wonderful Nazis, one of the two Third Reich cornerstones of those teams. being that Red Skull and Baron Zemo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the two ones
Okay.
that make that work.
Are there any heroes that are also villains? Are there any tweeners?
No, is the short
That's a
answer
shame.
to that. That
That's a darn shame.
potentially could be. Probably about half of the squad could probably be, but no. And there is sometimes a little bit of a bone of contention as to where certain characters may fall. For example, Venom is a villain.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yes, he
son,
is.
my son absolutely loves Venom, but he's always seen him as a hero.
So in the comics, he was very much an anti-hero by
Yeah.
the time Spider-Man beat him a number of times. Like he started basically once they got Carnage in there, Venom became this hero
Yeah.
who wants to stop Carnage and has a sense of honor, but still wants to kill Spider-Man and eat his brains. So that was, yeah. I've always considered Punisher to be a villain, and everybody, including our police forces out here, thinks of him as a hero, which is a huge problem. But Punisher is nowhere near a hero, and yet he's iconically considered a hero.
Yeah.
So,
You've got likes of Mystique. I've always thought she was a hero.
yeah, in the
Himself.
comics, she starts off as a villain, so I kind of see why they have her there. Same with Elektra.
Yeah.
Emma Frost also, and a lot of them have bounced back and forth. Is Magneto considered a villain in this one?
Certainly is.
Okay. Which is interesting because he and Cyclops is not, because in the comics, he and Cyclops have kind of shifted around each other. Professor X is just this moderate who's kind of gone the way of the dodo, but Cyclops absolutely like became the worst version of Magneto and kind of caused him a crisis of conscience a bit.
Right.
So, all right. Maybe I'll build up an AIM team. Maybe they'll synergize well.
AIM are fantastic together.
Are they?
Yeah, AIM are fantastic. The two sort of cornerstones there are number one, 2, and 3 is Scientist Supreme.
Okay.
Without a doubt, because her sort of powers and her abilities just make the rest of the team work.
And she's farmable.
And she's farmable.
Yes.
Don't make the mistake that I made in bringing up AIM Infector and AIM Assaulter, because they are nonsense. They're just not very good. There are better options. Your better options are basically, whereas AIM Researcher to an extent, but certainly AIM Security, and I was going to say Hydra Scientist, but not one of them. But the reason for me bringing those up was basically red stars.
Okay.
It was I brought the ones up that I had. Here's the Flurkin again. Obviously not a fan of West German football in the 1990s because she's attacking the shirt. Are you more of a Hydra one yourself? Are you more of a Baron Zemo fan? Are you, Flurkin? Are you? That's what I should have called her, Flurkin.
Flurkin.
Actually, my son wanted, after seeing what she was like, he actually wanted to call her Fenrir.
Okay.
Ow. And that's why. By that little owl that I just let out there. But yeah, there's, when it comes to the AIM team, certainly AIM Researcher and AIM Security definitely are better options than the two that I went for, Infector and Assaulter.
Okay. Well, that only leaves, so if I have Scientist Supreme, AIM Monstrosity, Researcher, and Security, the only other AIM tag would be Graviton.
Graviton's fantastic in that team. He's certainly the second in command, without a doubt.
And he is also farmable through some of the war supplies, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bone of contention with the Marvel Strike Force community. Maybe in the next sort of month or so, he'll be taken out of those that store, because the war currency can be spent on an awful lot better characters than Graviton. You've got X-23, you've got Ghost in there, you've got who else? Some great characters in there. The hardest to farm characters are in the war store, and also your gear 15 uniques once you get to that stage. So you don't want to be, for want of a better word, spunking all your load on Graviton in the War Store. And you certainly don't want to be spunking it all over Nobu, who for some reason is in the War Store. No idea why.
Just to tempt people, I guess, toward maybe trying out their hand. Speaking of spunking on your hand. Okay, so go for an aim, but if I don't go over Graviton because of that, then who would be my fifth member with aim? Should I just find somebody who synergizes well with them? And if so, who would it be?
Yeah, just go for another aim character, basically.
Okay, well, that would be Infector or Assaulter then.
Yeah, one that you have the highest red stars on, or the one that you need to put less time into developing, because aim will take you so far. It will serve you quite well in the villains campaign and also in war to some extent. But there's far better teams than aim out there. But certainly for starting off, focus on the aim team, the one with your highest stars. But don't go for Infector because he is useless.
Garbage. Okay. Well, cool. I think I've got some decent villains that I can start aiming toward and start farming out. I like the idea of aim because Scientist Supreme is such an idiot, and that is entertaining. So I like it. All right. Well, hey, Iain, where can people find you on the social medias?
Social media, I'll put all the links in the description below if you like your puns, Excellent. If you like PS5 gaming, me putting a little Glaswegian slant on certain games. They're all posted on the likes of YouTube. But at iMcPun on all your usual socials, as I say, links are in the comments. But Damian, what about yourself?
There you go. All right. You can find me at Harmony on all the social medias, 2 H's in the middle. Also, a bunch of links down there below, and that should make it pretty dang simple. So, Iain, thank you again for rating my teams. Turns out my hero bias has really sunk me. But I look forward to the digging out, so that'll be fun. So, until next time, Excelsior.